Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. You know it. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, today it's going to be this is going to be interesting. I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment here. I'm going to talk about my interpretation of shadow banning, and I'm going to talk about flat earther Bob Knodel. And I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment. Now, this experiment, I could fall flat on my face. We'll find out tomorrow morning. When I do tomorrow's morning's video, we'll find out if I have that pile over my face and my whole theory is for naught, that I am just an idiot, or maybe I was right. And it's kind of interesting because that just happened to Bob Knodel. I'll get into it more in a second. Okay, I want to talk about shadow banning first of all. It's kind of hard with my YouTube channel. I think it makes me more sharper. I believe I am what they call shadow banned. And let me explain that really quick, what I think shadow banning is. My interpretation is, like if you take me and you take Bo the Fifth Column. Bo the Fifth Column is very polished on his YouTube channel. He talks about, he's very knowledgeable, but he talks about safe things. Now, after we do a video here, if you're monetized, you have to go through a checklist of things that might be offensive, that might cause advertisers to not advertise on your channel. Is there violence? Is there swearing? Is there talks about drugs? Is there talk about firearms, sensitive events, controversial issues? These are all checks. You check them, and you can check up to 5 of them. After you check 5, then your video is no longer considered. You get yellow lighted. It's what it's called. If you can go through them, or you disabling or enabling dishonest conversation, something like that. That's if it's green lighted if I talk about somebody that was dishonest, but not if I am saying this. It's tricky. Now, when I do my video, I check because of the nature of my channel and what I'm interested in, how I used to be involved in a violent, drug-filled life, and subsequently how I've changed. I talk a lot about things that I have to check off. You see what I'm saying here? Occasionally I'll swear. A lot of times I talk about dishonest people. I talk about firearms. I talk about violence. I talk about drugs. I talk about stuff that gets me yellow lighted. And and because of this, my channel is a little harder to advertise. The only way you find my videos, if you look, there's a core group of people that watch my videos. It was up to about 200. And sometimes I say things, I don't know, people get bored, and I'm down to under 100 now. And sometimes I'll get videos that go up to 1,200, 1,500, 15,000 video views. Now, the only way I could do this, the only people that see my videos are the people that watch them every day, that go and find my channel. This is called shadow banning. I'm not advertised. I'm not just put on like, for you. You might be interested in this. My channel isn't shown on that because it's not highly commercial. It's not very commercial friendly. Whereas Bo the Fifth Column is very polished. I called him my mentor. He is very good at giving you all the facts, but being able to be highly commercial friendly. And he gets a lot of he's the opposite of shadow ban. He gets a lot of attention. Now, there's other people on the right that start crying about, oh, I've been shadow banned. It's because of the things I say. That's kind of true, but it's not because you're on the left or the right. It's because you swear, because you talk, because you just aren't commercially friendly to advertisers. Like people like, what's his name there? Fuentes, Nick Fuentes. He swears, he curses, he talks about women, he talks about things that advertisers balk. They don't want, it's not because he's on the left or on the right. I'm on the left, he's on the right, and we both say some controversial things, and we both get shadow banned, but for the same reason. Anyway, the only way I think it makes me a sharper YouTuber because I have to get a story quick. The only way I can get a lot of views is either if somebody looks for my channel or if they search a particular phrase or something I'm talking about. So I have to be on the ball. I have to kind of look ahead to see what people are going to talk about the next day. Like yesterday, I talked about all this proliferation, this way this new stories come out about this suburban homeowner. And coincidentally, I did yesterday's story about the hero homeowner on Fox, Fox News, their version of this. Because on the real version, he got his butt kicked and ended up in the hospital, when it happened right here the next day. But on Fox News, and now on TMZ did a story using my same tagline, hero homeowner. They actually used hero. Like I used that in my tagline. I downloaded my video at 4:30 yesterday. They downloaded theirs at 6:30 yesterday. So and I still didn't get a lot of views. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll put the link to that TMZ right down below so you can check it out, see what I'm saying. Anyway, so now here's my experiment. I want to talk about Bob Knodel. Now I honestly, I thought the flat earthers were gone. I thought it was all over because now people can pay to go into space. Everybody and their brother can go up, if you got what's it, 1 million, 20 million, 10 million. I don't know what the going rate for a ride up into weightlessness is right now. But you can buy it if you got enough cash. And 20 million ain't all that much anymore. It is to me, but to a lot of people, it's not. It's a month's entertainment. So you can go up there, and you can see that the Earth is round. I thought when I first got onto YouTube, that was the first thing I started watching. I got into the whole, how could these flat earthers be so ridiculous? Conversation. I jumped in there and I knew all the people that were involved in it back. This was like 7 or 8 years ago when I first got on YouTube. And I thought it had all disappeared. I thought, I thought they had all finally come to their senses, but apparently they haven't. Just this winter, just when it was still dark out, like about a month or two ago, I was out walking in the morning and I looked up at the full moon and you could see the actual shadow. You could see the sunrise behind me and I could see the moon in front of me. And I could see the shadow of the Earth that I'm actually standing on, and the sun hitting the top of the moon. So you could, just with basic knowledge, you could see that the round sun is behind me. The Earth I'm standing on is a round ball because I see the shadow of it on the moon. And I could see where the sun behind me is coming up and hitting the moon in front. You know what I mean? It's so freaking obvious. This was a couple months ago. And right off the bat, I was like, these guys have to be all gone by now. It's non-existent because I hadn't looked into it in years. I guess it's not. Big story today. And I'll put the links for this down below. It was on the Daily Mail, all the trash. The Mirror, a few other ones. India Today, I think. Bob Knodel. Now here's the weird thing, and I want to look into it more. Bob Knodel. This just came out 5 days ago. This movie on Netflix, Behind the Curve. A flat earther expose. And this is the crazy part. In this, Bob Knodel spends $20,000. I think it's on a laser, a flatline laser. But he spends $20,000 and puts he proposed to do an experiment. Basically, there's a hole in a board here, a hole in a board here. A camera over here, a laser over here. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how far they are apart, but his idea is if the Earth is flat, he'll be able to see the laser go through both boards, through this hole, from the laser to the camera, and he'll be able to see it. But if the Earth is round, the laser will go like this, and he won't be able to see the laser. So he spends $20,000 to do this experiment, and right live on camera, he is dejected. He can't see the laser, and people are just laughing at this. And that's in a big story running today. Now, here's the other thing. So I start Googling Bob Knodel today. All right. Now, here's where it gets weird. Bob Knodel died 10 days ago on April 6th of unknown causes. So, I'm trying to figure out the timeline here. Because there's all these these media sites saying, Bob Knodel, the famous flat earther, he's got egg on his face. His flat earth experiment failed. He spent $20,000. They're kind of laughing at him, and he's already dead. He died 10 days ago. So I'm trying to figure out the timeline on this. Obviously, he made this movie some time ago, some months ago, when this all happened. So now I start thinking, is this suicide? Was his whole world so shattered by his belief system being taken apart, by falling apart right in front of his face. Everything he believed in, everything he dedicated his life to, right in the middle of a movie, $20,000 down the tube, and but basically, his whole belief system just cracking and falling apart right in front of him. And so I'll put all the links down below. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know. I want to look into it further. This is what I found out this morning. Like I said, the initial media sites were running with this story, kind of laughing at Bob Knodel. And when I Googled Bob Knodel, if you put down Bob Knodel death, or you go to his YouTube channel, they're kind of eulogizing him in a memoriam. And I'm like, whoa, how does it, they're talking about the movie coming out and the experiment failing just 4 days ago. But he's been dead for 10 days. Weird, and I'm sure the flat earthers are going to come up with some conspiracy theories for this. So this is where I'm at with this. So here's the experiment. I think Bob Knodel is going to get searched an awful lot. And I think this video might get more than average views because of that. My whole theory on shadow banning. Because somebody who doesn't know my channel is going to watch this video because I'm talking about Bob Knodel. And they're curious just like I am, and they're searching the Bob Knodel name. And because, usually this video would probably get 60 views. Let's see what it gets tomorrow. All right. Will I have egg on my face like Bob Knodel? Or will I be right about shadow banning? Let's find out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.